Everyone, welcome to Jasper's History Facts. Ta-da. Well, today is October the 22nd, and on this day, in 1962, President John F. Kennedy warned the American people that there is now a Cuban Missile Crisis, declaring a naval blockade to prevent any more missiles getting from the Soviet Union to Cuba. This is one of the closest times in human history we came to probably extinction. Maybe not the closest. We were pretty close at one point, but this is up there. This is as I said, naval blockade that President John F. Kennedy puts up against Cuba because the United States finds out that the Soviet Union is putting nuclear missiles in Cuba. And this is not something you really want. It's right in your backyard. Now, to be fair to the Soviets, and I know people are going to get upset with that, but to be fair to the Soviets, the U.S. had done the same thing. There were missiles in Turkey, which is right in their backyard too. But, obviously, no power wants these, so, it makes sense why the U.S. was still so adverse to this, you could say, especially since obviously it's just recently that Cuba and the United States had a falling out of a relationship, you could say. So this is a pretty big deal. Do I think it actually would have led to war, potentially nuclear war? No, probably not. I think there aren't any people in places of power in the government, like the places of power that matter. Let's just be honest. There were definitely people that probably didn't matter as much that probably would have, but the people that mattered, they were probably not ever going to do this. They kind of understood, hey, this could be total annihilation between both of us. Probably the world, some people thought, at least back then, for sure. If there were maybe leaders from either country that were from before this, potentially. For the U.S., not so much. I think we would have had cooler heads from most of the presidents before this, if almost all of them actually. But for the Soviets, I could definitely think of one that might have been a little crazy enough to do it. But he's gone at this point, thankfully, so don't have to worry about that. But yeah, this is a very, very important event. Glad it didn't lead to annihilation. And now you know.